Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Sunshine and Soul. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. I'm so glad to be here in 2024. I didn't even know I was going to last this long, but thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And go back and watch the other episodes. If you haven't watched them, you're taking a piss. Please go back and do what you need to do. Today, first day of the year, second day of the year, whatever it is, I have two amazing, amazing ladies with me who are going to teach you how to get your shit right for 2024. First of all, we have Miss Gloria, the founder. Didn't I tell you not to wave?
But I said hello at the same time. So I thought I was doing the hello and,
Hard ears. Anyway, Miss Gloria, who is the founder of Runtings and crew captain for London Soul Sisters.
That's correct.
Thank you for being here, darling.
You are welcome.
And I have Miss Lorraine, Miss Lala.
Hi.
Who is the founder of Noir Fit Fest. Thank you for being here.
No problem, man. I'm happy to be here, man.
Thank you, ladies. So first question, how are you? How are you both?
Want to go? I'm happy to go. I'm really good. I'm good. I've had a good day. It was my birthday yesterday. So I had just a really nice, relaxing,
Beautiful.
Moment with myself, and it ended really nicely. I think it was exactly what I needed given the madness of 2023. If I could have one day that was just, nice and calm and just about me, then to me, I consider that a win. So
Beautiful.
yeah, it was.
What did you do?
I went to a really lovely spa.
Oh, brilliant.
Which I actually booked the night before because I was looking for like deals where I could have, like a treatment as well as use the facilities and have, tea or maybe breakfast. And the deals that because obviously we're in London, everything is super
so
expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you can either have one or the other, and they're expecting you to pay like silly
Full price
amounts of
for
money.
both, yeah.
Yeah, even if you go into, sites like Groupon or Voucher, I'm like not really feeling the deals that you have on offer because you then go and research the place that they're trying to send you to and then you realise why it's so cheap in the first place.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just like, no. And then something said to me, I saw a place and it had a really high rating. And then I thought, let me double check. And on the site that I went to that does like these deals and stuff, they said they didn't have any spaces on my actual birthday. I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to stay at home and not do anything, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, you know what, let me just call up. Listen, call up, ignore those sites, call the venue. If there's a venue that you want to go to, the best thing that you can do is actually call them directly. Because I was like, do you have any? She was like, yeah, we've got loads. Like,
Oh,
no problem.
wow.
Okay,
You see what I mean?
I was like, so you have this package deal and I can have it?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. I was
That's
like, okay,
crazy.
cool. Booked it and it was great.
See, the website's
Yes.
malfunctioning.
Yeah,
The internet's
100%.
malfunctioning.
So I don't know if it's
Losing
a case
them
of
business.
them maybe selling them a portion and then once they're finished, they're
Done with
finished.
their package. Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
that is
maybe
what it is.
this is a lesson that we can all learn. They can learn it from me.
Well, thank you very much.
Like if you see something that says it's sell out, no.
Call up the place.
Call up the place directly.
I wouldn't have done that,
And get your deal. Honestly, I was ready to just be like, well, I'm not going to have a birthday then because nobody wants me. I was very much like that. I was like, no, I have to do something. And then had that. It was beautiful. And the venue that I went to, they gave me complimentary drinks. So they found it was my birthday.
Nice.
So I'm sitting there having my tea. I'm a little bit hungover. I'm like, this is amazing. Then later on, I went to meet a really good friend of mine. We watched the House Gospel Choir at one of their new shows. And that was amazing. So if you haven't seen them, I am endorsing them.
Love it.
Go and see
What a
them.
beautiful day. What a
It was
beautiful
nice.
birthday.
I know, right? I was like, I feel so blessed. Everyone was like sending me happy birthday. I was like, I love you,
Oh,
lot.
that's nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. I'm on a bit of a come down now. I don't want to, but
Keep
I
your energy
tend
up,
to.
please.
Yeah, like, I'm a Sagittarius. If you know Sagittarians, like we just celebrate the whole. We don't have a birthday. We have a month.
You have a whole...
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think everyone should do that.
100%.
I think
Like if you
everyone
feel like you can
definitely.
still keep the vibes
Yeah,
going,
keep the
and you
vibe
have
going.
people around you that are happy to kind of just
Go
be in the
on with
vibes
it.
with you as
It is
well.
your birthday. You know your mum was having contractions for the whole month.
Right, exactly.
My birthday's in July, and definitely from the 1st of July to the end, maybe sometimes even into August.
You celebrate.
My
Yeah.
birthday celebrated.
Do it.
Well, how are you, Miss Gloria?
I'm good, thank you very much. I'm very well. Obviously, my birthday was in summer, so really I've had to put the celebrations to bed. But yeah, no, I'm good actually. Just, looking forward to the end of the year. Looking forward to looking forward to summer, basically.
Looking forward to birthday.
Looking forward to my birthday.
You have a perfect birthday month. December's not the one. Trust me. You lucked
Oh
out
yeah,
with
because
July.
you get Christmas.
It's so
I
good.
don't, because my mum laid down those rules when I was born. She's like, do not get my pickney
one present.
for
Yeah.
cheap. Jesus was born on the 25th. My child was born on the 13th. Do not confuse the two. But I would love to be born in July because I'm a summer babe. How I ended up in December, I don't like cold.
Listen,
I don't know how I reached there.
My brother's born in December, and
Yeah.
I always used to try that, like, just get him the Christmas and birthday present. And he wasn't having
that's
wasn't having
wicked.
any of it.
that's wicked.
I was poor at the time.
So, what have been your high points for 2023? It's been a weird year.
It's definitely been.
It's been a weird year. I can't really. I think the best thing I've done this year is start this podcast. To be
Love
honest,
it.
To be honest,
That means 2024 is going to be
yeah.
amazing.
But
Let's
it's
keep
been a
growing.
weird. I think we came out of the pandemic, and I don't know if we have had mad expectations for 2023, but didn't really pan out. Maybe for some people, I don't know. It's just been a weird year.
I think I agree with that. I think there was like lots of expectations as to what was going to go on in 2023.
Yeah.
Because we felt like, it's been a while since the pandemic now. Like, let's like live. And I think it started off well. But I think it was,
And then it was like,
it's too.
it was
This
weird.
isn't really it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Quite a few. I wouldn't say I had a bad year. There was definitely some things where I thought, I wish that didn't happen. Or that was disappointing. I definitely, at my big age, definitely learned a few lessons this year.
Oh, me too.
Definitely learned a few lessons. And a few of them, I'm like, are we repeating this again? Anyway, I'm grateful for the lesson. I take it. But just a strange year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been interesting. So like the first quarter, like from January, I would say up until maybe April, I was just kind of working, trying to plan events, trying to do stuff. And then summer came and Beyonce came, and that was it, boy. I was just like, festival throughout the summer. And I was living my best life. So I did that. I did some festivals at Brockwell Park. They had a couple around that kind of period as well. I did Glastonbury for the first time.
You went to... Oh, you
hold on.
did?
Yeah.
How did you find
you
it?
did.
Amazing.
You didn't camp?
Huh?
You didn't camp?
No, I didn't.
I knew you weren't.
Yeah, no. I was
She's
like,
black.
nah.
What's wrong with you?
Me?
About camp?
I knew she was
Absolutely
camping.
not.
I knew she was.
I
I
was-
had to ask though.
Yeah, no. I was fortunate enough to be invited through a friend of mine who knows somebody on the Notting Hill committee. And I think Glasgow and Notting Hill have kind of tried to do like this cross-marketing.
Yeah,
That's nice.
they've done it before. They did it before because
Yeah.
when they cancelled Carnival, right? Like 2021 or something.
You know,
yeah.
both of them get really bad press after it's finished.
Yeah.
You know, certain newspaper sites, Daily Fail, like to, report really poorly on it. Oh, it's full of trash. And
Yeah, all of that.
So I think they've come together for that reason. It's like the biggest street party in Europe, and then Glasgow's probably one of the longest running festivals. So my friend was like, she's like, look, someone in the committee has contacted me. They know that I do like mass a lot. And she's like, I know that you like to do mass. She's like, have you got a frontline costume? I was like, well, actually, as it happens, I
You
bought
got
my
a couple.
first
Yeah.
last year, but I've never bought the big
The big one.
Yeah.
So 2022, or when we came back out the first one out of the pandemic, I was like, right, I'm just going to go all out. I'm going to buy a big costume. It's normally I buy the smaller ones. And I was like, yeah, I've got one. She's like, send me a picture of it. I sent it to her, and obviously she sent it to her contact there. They were like, yeah, we really like it. The two of you can come. So the deal was, obviously we come with our costumes and stuff. We stayed in caravans.
Okay.
And then the
I
idea
was
was
worried.
to kind of like bring carnival vibes. There were other dancers there as well.
Yeah.
Who also had their costumes, and they had like steel pan. So we did like the route
Okay.
around Glasgow, and they absolutely loved it. Like the weather was, the tan that I got, people thought I went on holiday. I was
It was
just
good
spent
weather
the
this
week.
year.
Yeah,
No,
it was
good weather this
amazing.
year, actually.
And because it's quite hilly as well, it was at the top, so I was really getting it. But warning to anyone, if you've not been before and you go when it happens to be quite a dry time where it's really super hot, the flooring is so hard. My foot was, it's hard. Like, it doesn't look it, but you put your foot in it, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, like... honestly, like I had to change my shoes several times because nothing was hard enough. So hiking shoes if you got them, bring them. It
That's
looks
crazy.
mad with your costume.
Yeah,
but
about to say that.
save your football
That's crazy.
because I had to learn the hard way. So I kind of went through it, but it was amazing. You get to watch all of the acts and everything. And I went when Elton John, it was his last performance.
Yeah.
So it was really, really, I was, oh my God, Elton really been doing this for like 500 years. And like, it was really emotional. You could see that obviously he loves Glaston's performed before. And he's like, I've been doing this for like 40 plus years or for whatever amount. I was like,
How old is he
"Raw."
now? 70 something?
Yeah, he's really been at it. But it was amazing. So that was probably one of the best experiences for me
Oh, good.
for 2023. It could have gone.
Very
It
left.
could
Yeah.
like if the weather wouldn't have been the
I
right
think
kind
the
of
weather
weather.
helped. I think
Yeah,
the weather helped.
100%. Everyone was in a good mood. I
Yeah.
think they, the element of us being there, they've never had that before. So seeing us, they were like, oh my gosh. A lot of people aren't from London. They don't go to
They don't carnival. Yeah, it's
so
true.
us touching down and we're like, oi, oi.
I love
and
it.
everything. Yeah, it was lovely.
been
So that was a
good.
great experience. Yeah.
That'd have been good. You know what? My brain is horrible because I went to NAS and Wu-Tang this year. I forgot.
Did.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I was living through your Instagram in your stories.
Hey,
I was like, and you went to
I went
NAS
NAS
with.
I went NAS Wu-Tang with with S.
That's it.
I went
yeah.
NAS Wu-Tang this year. That's the first time we've seen NAS in ages. What? Listen, I've got my whole life.
You,
I've got my
we saw.
There was a lot of shows and a lot of people coming over.
I got my
Yeah.
whole life that day. I don't know why I don't remember that. And I went to the after party as well.
How was that?
did?
You didn't
Yeah.
see my husband there, no?
Listen,
Are you fighting?
she DM'd me. She said you didn't climb on the stage.
I was like,
She said, "How come you didn't climb on the stage?" That was amazing.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking. Yeah, and I think it was from that point. That was in June, and I was just out.
Yeah.
I was just out.
yeah, summer was good.
Yeah, I'm just
was
remembering.
good.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
went out a lot this year.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
to 51st State for the first time.
Did you enjoy it? I really enjoyed it.
Look at your face. Look, she knows me too well.
Okay, I'm here for it. Okay,
Like you went where? Because she knows I can't stand festivals.
Yeah.
I'm very
Right.
much hit. But did you love it?
I did love it.
Okay, so when I start asking you about
I'm
these
coming,
things later
I'm
in
coming.
the year,
It's a nice
Okay.
festival.
I tell you,
It's a
but
nice
listen, the way it got hackney. So they do this dumb shit. Well, I don't go out a lot, so I don't know that when you buy a ticket, you got to be there by a certain time.
oh yeah,
Like what kind of food?
yeah, that
You
doesn't.
want
to me.
back
That's
time.
if
That's
I
a
wanna-
new. That's a new thing.
If I want to get there, if it finish at 10 and I want to get there at 9, nothing my business that I paid my
Yeah.
money. Anyway, so last entry at 6. We get there at 5:30. There's this long ass walk to get there. When we get there, big ass queue. And I'm seeing all the man them from Tottenham that I went college with, right? I'm seeing bare man them from Tottenham I went college with. I was like, oh, this is really a Gen X festival, isn't it? So I was with S again,
Yeah.
and we was standing outside, and I'm looking at time like it's 5:45. They're not letting no one in because now we just, naturally, if you know me, I push to the front.
Yeah.
So they're not letting anyone in, and we're like, what's happening?
They normally have a cut-off point time where they allow people to come in. Did you not know that?
It's 6 o'clock. It says, right. If I'm right at the door and
Yes.
it's not 6 o'clock, I'm supposed to be able to get in. That's what I think.
Let me in.
And that is what everybody else thought as well. Because
what?
by the time the 6,000 people pushed down the doors,
Okay, because I was going to say, how was it resolved?
that's how it was resolved.
Okay.
And then so that got pushed in.
You one of them
So
ruffians,
listen,
yeah?
me and S- no, listen, we was like,
I know she led the charge.
I know there's a viral
No,
video somewhere of Marianne like, get in there.
we were like,
Kicking down the
listen,
door.
I said, I grabbed my hand, I grabbed her hand, she goes, we're doing this. I said, like, we're doing this, girl, let's go. I said, we're doing I put my bag under there. I said, we're doing this, girl, let's go. So we held onto each other's hand, pushed through. When we got through to the next section, they got the barriers that go
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Completely empty.
Of course.
So everybody kicked down the barriers, and then there's another double doors there again. I was like, oh shit. We're like, oh, so how are we gonna get through here? So we just stood to the side, let the man them from
They
Tottenham
did the job.
do their thing, and we was in.
Wow.
We was in. But I remember seeing scenes from Wireless years ago when that happens.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
doors get pushed in, and all those people fall on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm like, never.
Not me.
And it
Stand
was-
to the side.
because it was raining all day and it was hella muddy.
Yeah.
I was like,
was it?
you fall on the floor, that's you for the day.
Yeah.
So I was
Which
like,
park
no,
was it? Finsbury Park.
no, it was in Edgware. I can't remember the name of the
Oh.
park. It was in Edgware.
51st.
Yeah, it was in Edgware.
You mean Cockfosters? Because normally it's down
Up them.
side,
No.
like Trent Park, I think it's
Trent
called.
Park.
Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
it was. It was Trent Park.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not falling on the floor. I'm not.
don't.
So we got through and I ran to the side quick. I dragged S and we went to the side and we was all right.
Yeah.
And I looked around. I looked at security. Just held my head down and I
Kept
just
walking
marched.
in. That's what you're supposed to
I
look
put
at
my
no
head
one.
down. I just put my head down
go.
and I had a cap
Security know,
on.
though.
Yeah.
And I had a cap on. I said, because when you come through that door, everyone with their cameras.
Yeah.
I had to text my brothers, like, if you see video, I'm the one in the green jacket.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good. It was wet and muddy, but
Yeah. But you had fun.
for the first time I've been there, yeah, it was really good.
And I feel like those things, like, especially in London, if you're going to go to a festival, even if it is summer, there is a chance that it's going to rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
this
you
is
just
it.
can't let that put you off. You've just got to go.
You got
and
you
embrace
just have
it.
to go. Yeah, that's what I did. You just have to go. I just put on hat, little jacket, some big, some big Dr. Martens because you know you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Protect the feet at all costs.
You know our people was there. You know our yardie people was there in white.
Oh God.
Do they have
know.
sandals on?
No.
No,
Okay.
thank
Okay,
God.
that's your people. Every man I saw that had on white trainers and white trousers, this means you're Jamaican, innit?
White on
And they went,
white on
how you know? This is because come on, it's muddy.
Like the headlock it has over us.
It's muddy.
The skinny ones as well.
What in the mud? Oh my gosh! But yeah, no, it was
It's a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, it was a fun summer. I forgot about that. actually.
Yeah, so I think we all had a fun summer.
Good.
It was
But then
a
maybe
fun
the
summer.
latter part.
Yeah, and then it just and you get to the end of the year and you're like, okay, what next?
Yeah.
I think I had
Yeah.
already decided that after Notting Hill, I knew I was like, I need to get my head down now towards the end of the year.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, isn't
Party
it? It's
done.
work.
Yeah.
Party done.
And it was fine. I had my fun. It was cool. Originals Festival was really good. I got a shout out to them.
Oh, nice.
I enjoyed that. Just fix your sound, guys.
Oh
please.
wow, yeah, I heard a
That's-
lot of that this
yeah.
year.
That's the only thing. Like outside of that, they got great following, but sometimes the sound system is so important. If
And
you
that's the
don't
thing,
get
you've
the
gotta get
music
right.
right.
That's the one thing you got to
the
get.
one
That's the main
thing-
thing you got to
It's
get
the
right.
one thing that you've got to get right.
Yeah, because it's like it's house and everything, so you want to
Yeah.
feel it in your soul. So
Yeah.
if it sounds a bit tinny or it sounds like it's loud over there but quiet over there,
You don't want
it
that.
don't really work. But
You're the festival girl, though.
yeah,
I am the festival.
So what did you do this year? Last
Went
year?
to Croatia.
Ah, see.
or, what's it called?
Defected.
Oh, how was that?
I had a whale of a time. I had a whale of a time. So Croatia, I used to go to Croatia a lot, but I used to go to a different festival called the Garden Festival, which is not on. That is like a housey festival, and they don't do that anymore. And so like I've always been a little bit about Defected. Like I'm not sure. Like I feel like it's going to be really super young, and like as much as I'm here for like hanging out with the young uns,
Not all day.
not all day,
Not
not
all
all day, every day for a week. But it's a really eclectic, mixed crowd of people, and like very diverse. I mean, like in terms of ethnicity, race, in terms of male, female makeup, in terms of like just everyone is there, and just a fun time. Just like everybody's on a good vibe. Really good music. They had a really good selection of DJs, and just like I didn't know I had it in me, but 7 days every night I was out. I thought I put those days behind me, but yeah,
Can't put those days behind us.
Definitely
We
not.
definitely can't put those days behind
yeah.
us.
I still like a good night out, but I just think that I'm a bit more sporadic about it. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah, it's got to be
out.
kind of planned, right? It's not the ones where
because the suffering is.
The recovery time.
Yeah,
And I've got things to do. Like I feel like I'm a grown woman now. Like I'm an adult. I've got things to do.
that's so weird
If
that
I-
we only feel adult now.
Like it's Saturday. I've got things to do on a Friday or a Thursday, and like
My brain
really,
needs to be
You're gonna
functioning.
need-
yeah.
You're
And
gonna
I
need the
need
free-
all of
free
those
those
days in
days.
between to get back. You know what I mean? To get it together. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just have to be a bit more selective, but obviously I was on holiday, I was away, the sun
Good.
was shining.
That might
It
be
was just a
something I
great
might put in my on my list.
I
to do.
I really recommend it.
Somebody recommended Rotterdam Festival. Rotterdam Carnival.
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard
He
it's
re-
nice.
Yeah, there's a reggae festival and Rotterdam Carnival said it was amazing. So yeah,
Nice.
that might be on my list for next year as well.
I went to a reggae
You
festival
know,
in
gonna be
Berlin.
Outside.
Good.
In life, nothing better to do. I might as well.
Right.
So what else happened this year? We had a few losses this year. We had a few losses this year. Tina Turner.
No.
That was that was kind of, she was ill, but that was shocking.
Oh.
I feel
Yeah.
like she's such an icon. You feel like people like that just are just going to go on forever. You know, obviously she's, you know, aging and she was not well. But even that, I didn't realise the extent of her illness. I just, you know.
No.
I think she kind of kept that kind of quiet and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the best way though. I think that's the best way,
I
because
think
you don't
so.
people hounding you when you're ill.
This is
But
it.
she had such her career is crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like her career is crazy from where she started from a little kid, all that madness she went through with Ike.
Right.
Burning out.
And then
Sorry, every time I
I
hear
know.
it, I want to stamp.
All that madness she went through with Ike Turner, and then to reach, did she rebuild her life at 40?
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so that, I think, was it the What's Love Got
What's
to Do with
Love
It
Got to
album
Do,
came
yeah.
out after that. And just obviously she just had this whole new,
Yeah, like a
also the old
renaissance.
fans, but this whole
Yeah.
new audience of new people. And talking of Renaissance, I love that Beyonce gives her a lot of credit,
Yeah.
a lot of flowers, because you can see it in Beyonce's performance.
Yeah,
You can
she
see
had
the
to.
Tina
It would
Turner
be
there.
really weird if she didn't.
You can see it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that
iconic lady.
Yeah.
very iconic.
Yeah,
very iconic.
so when you go back and when people pass and you go back and look over their lives, you realize, rah.
And just classy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even her, I went to go and watch, I don't know if you've been to see her
The musical.
stage. Yeah,
Yeah.
go and watch it. It's really, really good. And everyone's seen the movie and everything, but she's got another documentary that she did. And so everybody kind of cites her life from the book and from her movie.
Yeah.
But when you watch the documentary, it kind of goes a little bit deeper.
Okay.
What she actually went through was way madder than
Then what they put in the film.
the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she said the reason why she wrote the book and she did the movie is because after she left Ike, so many people were asking her, especially when she, you know, started her solo career, about Ike and stuff like that. And she was saying that if she puts it in a movie, people can just refer to that rather than asking her questions.
Keep asking her questions. Yeah.
And actually, if you watch her in like old interviews where she's doing her press run for the movie and people, you can see on her face, like she's smiling through it.
But she's
like,
still taking a
traumatic.
toll.
Yeah, she's
right?
still
It
like,
must
and I was
be.
like, this must be really traumatic for her,
Yeah.
for people. And like, she lived that life from like, I think she met Ike when she was like 17, she's like
Yeah.
a teenager,
Jeez.
like a kid, essentially, is probably way older than her. So she went through all of that abuse only for the press to constantly ask
her about it.
again and again.
Right.
So she's trying to do the media train thing and be like, oh, well, you know, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. When really she's just like, I'm going back to a place I really
don't
want
wanna
to go back
be.
to.
And she
But
handled
yeah,
it so
she did.
well,
I'm
did.
like,
really.
I know she
Always
did
classy.
it. So when I watched that documentary, she told another story which was insane about what he did to her. And I'm like, yeah, this woman needs to be left alone so she can just...
But that's what she did. She moved to
process.
Switzerland.
yeah, with her
Yeah,
husband.
she moved to Switzerland.
Yeah.
She moved to Switzerland. Yeah, got away from Hollywood and
Yeah.
everybody and just lived their peaceful life. Just lived their peaceful life. Good for her. And we lost Benjamin Zephaniah recently as well. That was quite a shock. But they said he was an 8-week illness.
Really?
They said he had a tumor. 8 weeks.
Lord.
8-week
See
illness.
how life is?
Yeah.
Yeah, another icon. He turned down his OBE, which everyone.
I know.
Listen,
I know.
Listen.
You see
And
the
I
video
just-
of him going viral,
Yeah.
like, explaining why.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how many people, especially black people, who don't fully understand why anyone would turn that down. It's
Right.
like, if you know your history, especially around the Commonwealth
And empire,
colonial rule
yeah.
and all of that
Absolutely.
stuff, it makes complete sense. And
It does.
people who are like, oh, well, you know, why are you turning, like, why would I accept that?
and
What are
I-
you talking about?
And I think that in this day and age, actually, if you really cared about honouring and rewarding black excellence, you would create something else. You would understand it,
Yeah.
Why?
and
Yeah.
you would create
Create
something
something else.
separate.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want to keep their thing, it's up to them. But they would create something else that would be more, because also it's not only black people, it's also brown people, it's also
Yeah.
Irish, it's also
Yeah.
Scottish. I mean, the
Yeah.
list is long of
The
people.
list is long
The list is very long of
of
people, and it's
people
growing
that they've
still.
oppressed. Yes.
Right.
Britain kind of colonized like 70%
Percent of
Yeah.
the
of the
world.
world. Like there's 196 countries on this planet, And this little island managed to take over 70% of that. So do the math.
And they still think they're special.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, and
That's
that's
the
why they
problem.
haven't changed it. Because really, deep down, they don't actually think that there's any. Why
Anything
would
wrong with
anyone
it,
be
yeah.
offended by that?
I was just like, no, but he explained it succinctly, beautifully. Like he didn't. It was interesting watching Tiny Temper. Like,
Is that who was sitting next to him?
Yeah, asked the
He went,
question.
what happened with that? What do you mean, bro? What do you mean, bro?
I was like, okay.
That's what you're asking. What happened with that? I didn't really understand that.
I don't really understand.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
But
I
it's
didn't know who it
interesting.
was.
I know a lot of
Oh.
people who think just like that, who are
Yeah, I
very
do.
confused because they're so ingrained within Britain is this amazing country and blah blah blah, ignoring the whole history
I
of what
always
this country's
ask
done.
the same question. I've been asking the same question on Twitter for years. It's never been answered. What does it do? It
Yeah.
opens doors. Okay.
Which doors
okay.
though? Like when you say that, what does that mean? Do
It
you get
helps-
more money?
They
Like-
always say it helps the community. If lots of black people get MBEs, it helps to open doors and it puts us in rooms. But we're still being oppressed. But we still have discrimination. But we still have a racial wage gap. But racism is worse.
Yeah.
So 50 million of you have all these things.
what
but-
are you doing with it?
What has been done with it?
I'm like, each to their own, okay? If that's a thing that you want and you want to take it on board, but I agree with that. Like, it's like, how is that helping the community? Like, I think if it's for you,
It's an individual thing, and I
It's
think
an
you just need to
individual
just
thing.
admit it.
Yeah,
You like it
you
by
like
your
the
name.
title.
you like it, and that's
Because
okay.
it's in your Twitter name, not even the bio. It's in your Twitter name,
Right.
yeah.
and
you like it,
and you can have your things, and you can like them. I would also say, like, I'm not sure that it's helpful to the community. It's helpful to the individual.
Yeah, it's 'cause
and that's
there's no
okay.
evidence that it's ever helped the community. How has that helped? It opens doors for you,
Yeah.
but when you get inside those doors, they ask you where are you really from, and you can't do anything, and you can't do anything.
Big thing on Talk TV,
Yeah.
Good
You
Morning
understand?
Britain, and
They
all of
ask you where
this.
you're really from, and they dismiss you.
Yeah.
They invite you to their little garden party, and give you tea, understand, and give you a little invitation in an envelope, and that's all you get. That's all you really get.
And I think there's other ways to support the community. You know, give us more money, give us more equity.
Please.
Like actual
If they was
things.
getting funding and stuff like
Yeah.
that, then yeah,
Yeah.
by all means.
Sure. So yeah, I mean,
But no,
Benjamin said it
Perfectly, yeah.
Yeah.
very succinctly.
that would be hypocritical because you can't be anti-racist. It just doesn't make any
Want
sense.
to be part of the monarchy? What?
Sorry, beg your pardon.
It doesn't make any sense.
But it's a great loss. Like,
Yeah.
he's somebody that so intelligent and just he had definitely had a way of like expressing stuff, and I feel like I learned so much just from watching him and listening
It's
to his
nice
poems
seeing
and
him
stuff.
in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah,
I thought that was great.
Right, Peaky.
Yeah, because he really is like a
Proper Brummy.
proper Brummie, and they really love him, and I it's so lovely to see, and all the tributes that they've given to him.
They've done a tribute for him at Aston Villa because he loved Aston Villa.
That's
They did a
right,
big
yeah.
tribute for him on the screen. That was beautiful
Yeah.
as well. And who else? I can't think. The only other person I can think of. So many people passed away. There was this. Associated Press has videos on
Yeah.
YouTube if you want to go and watch them. But there was some faces that went past, and I'm like, I didn't know. Like Jerry Springer. When did that happen? I don't even remember. Do you remember that?
I remember it popping up on the TV and thinking, oh,
Yeah.
was he that old, or like?
I
don't even know what-
It's been a weird
died?
year.
Don't
I
know.
don't know, babe.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year. But rest in peace to everybody who has
Yeah,
passed this
R.I.P.
year. Yeah, you'll be missed. Now let us move on to the new year. New year, new me. I should have steps, right? And I should be walking up the steps.
Yeah, you should
my
be.
girl.
That-
You know?
Getting ready,
The 2023
You know my girl that walks up the
behind her,
steps with her picnic them in her arm.
getting ready to see her.
Yeah. So everybody always does New Year, New Me. And I have two ladies in front of me who always doing something new to do with fitness. So let's start with you, Lorraine, Noir Fit Fest. Tell us a little bit about what you do
Yeah.
and how people can get involved this year.
Okay, so Noir Fit Fest kind of came up with that idea because it's something that I wanted to do forever. like with most things. Didn't really know how to go about it, but I did know that I wanted to kind of create a platform because I know so many kind of amazing fitness instructors and PTs. And for context, my mum's a fitness instructor. She's been doing it since the 90s. So you remember people like Mad Lizzie?
Yes.
And
Mad Lizzie.
What's his name? What's the
Mr. Motivator.
Yeah, remember the golden, the green goddess?
The green goddess.
Them people there.
wow.
Right?
Definitely.
If you like, they were kind of like the fitness influencers of their day.
They were.
They really were. Like, they
Mr.
really had that
Motivator's
little...
sharks.
My mum would be downstairs like with the GMTV or whatever it was on. She'd be doing a workout to like Finley, Mr. Motivator.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
So my mum is from that kind of era, and she always loved like doing aerobics and stuff like that. So obviously I was brought up by my mum, single parent home, and she's like, right, I want to get into this fitness thing, and she would find like fitness classes and stuff like that. And obviously she used to drag me along. So I used to come with her to like these really kind of old kind of gyms, you know, the ones that look like they've been built from scratch. And you go in there, the weights look like they've been welded together and everything. So there was this one particular gym, which is in Peckham, and they had like a sizable studio that they used to rent out to the instructors who would teach their classes down there. And at the time, I think like garage was kind of emerging and jungle was the big thing as well. So they had shouts out to instructors like Theo and Jenny. There's a whole bunch of them. They're probably in their 50s and 60s now, but they used to like deliver these amazing classes to like jungle for about 2 hours.
Wow.
Just imagine everybody in their leotards.
Yeah.
Like, the sweat was dripping down the walls. I was like, oh my God, these times I'm like maybe 13, 14.
Yeah.
My mum and her little peer group, they're in there. So unless you were really involved in that, you wouldn't really know that was going on. But it was quite, a little bit of a fitness community that was, so I was kind of raised in kind of watching all of that. So you see all those videos that kind of go viral of kind of like the US.
The mad.
Exactly what I was thinking.
So even now I get a lot of messages like, oh, where's the UK version of that? And me, because I was growing up seeing that, I'm like, that's not new to me. I can show you instructors who've been doing that forever. It's only because you guys haven't seen it, because obviously we didn't have social media back then. Like I said, if you weren't part of that, you wouldn't know. So I obviously growing up, witnessing all of this, I graduated doing fashion. So I went down the fashion route. I was working with a lot of music artists and stuff like that, but I was always kind of working out. So I kind of got to the point where I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And then I kind of went on my own fitness journey, put on quite a bit of weight, and I was not feeling really good. Started losing the weight and everything by working out, kind of redoing my diet and all of that. And I was documenting it. By this point, social media's about now. Yeah. I'm documenting it. People are like, oh my God, how'd you do that? Da, 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 da. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I could actually tell you how to do this. I thought, you know what? I should be qualified. So got qualified, started taking on clients and stuff like that. And I just thought to myself, right, now I'm actually physically in this fitness industry business. And, I'm working at commercial gyms, I'm working at boutique gyms, and I'm starting to notice a trend that I'm like literally the only black person in the room.
Oh, wow.
And depending on where you are, in terms of geographically in London, like I've grown up in a predominantly black area. Yeah. So where I live right now, there's a sizable amount of black people that are there. Now it's slightly gentrified. There's a little less black people there now, and it's slightly dwindled over the years. Obviously, when I teach outside of those areas, and it's mostly white people, blah, blah, blah. And I just thought to myself, I can't be the only one like just doing these group training like, what is going on? So I was just like, there's something really odd. So then I started reaching out to different fitness people and just asking them questions like, are you having the same experience as me? And they're like, yeah, pretty much the same. Wow. Like it's like, so on both levels, in terms of like engaging with other black people to come and encourage them to like get into classes and stuff like that, you're starting hearing to think, oh, I don't really know if I can do, oh, it's for the young ones, oh, I haven't got the time, and oh, I only got this body because I had children, and every excuse under the sun. You're trying to tell them about the benefits of why, and it's like going through one ear and out the other, and it's just the priority is just not there.
It's low.
It's really bad. And then the kind of working side of it, I'm talking to actual fitness influencers, and a lot of them have like huge followings. I'm not talking about people with like a couple hundred. I'm talking in the thousands. And I'm like, tell me your experience. And they're like, when they get invited to kind of like events with fitness brands, they're the only one as well. And they feel like the token black person, and they're confused because obviously they know of other fitness influencers that are out there, and it's like, why don't you know about this person and this person? Why am I the only person here? I'm like, okay, there is a disconnect somewhere. So I just thought, let me create a platform where all of we can just pretty much come together. You lot as the fitness pros can basically have the stage and teach whatever it is that that you excel at. So it could be soca aerobics, it could be group training with resistance bands, or, you know, Afro beatboxing. We had that, like whatever it is, yoga, blah, blah, blah. We can do talks and everything, and just basically speak to our community in the way that we know how to communicate with each other. We can talk about certain cultural nuances that maybe we need to kind of break, like certain myths and about food, our foods, and, you know, whether or not we should be exercising, or even like simple things like, I've heard people say, oh no, we shouldn't be doing yoga because it's for white people.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, like things like, it is actually
I
mad.
literally just told my dad to do yoga the other day.
And it's like, oh, I don't know if that's
Who
for me.
said that?
People are still out there saying it, and it's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. So, so again, that is pretty much how Noir Fit Fest was birthed, and I've been very blessed. I have a very great roster of people that I can call on to be like, look, I want to put on this event. Can you teach and they're on it. They're just like, yes, this needs to happen. Yeah. It's super important. I'm tired of having to struggle with, you know, with either our community or with, you know, the actual fitness industry largely and historically kind of ignoring us as a group.
Noir Fit Fest, as a non-fitness person, frightens the life out of me, because Noir Fit Fest is a day of working out.
It is, but it's not like, when people say that, it's like, clearly, you're not going to be literally like on a chain gang, like
everywhere.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Like, people come and do 1-2 classes.
You can do whatever you want. The class
is
is like, it's like a timetable. So like when you go to your local gym, you see the timetable.
Pick
what do you want to do? Like choose. Okay. That's it. So there's like 13 throughout the day.
13?
13.
Mad girl like me, I'd want to do all of them.
And the thing is, you know what's funny? When people come, they book, let's say they book their free. They come in there now, we've got a live DJ and everything, there's vendors and what have you. They're like, oh, rah. They start doing their little, might be doing their little soca workout, whatever it is they're doing, and the music's still playing, they're still in the vibes. Before I know it, I'm like, hang on. Did you not book at 10 o'clock? It's like 5. Why are you still here? I'm just going to do this last thing here because this, right, so you just... And that's how it is. So basically, I'm trying to create an environment that essentially we are all kind of familiar. We've just talked about festivals, right? It will, like, we don't even have to think about booking a ticket to a party or to a festival.
You're right, that part. Right, exactly.
Yeah. And you will pay and you will go. Yeah. This is no different. The only difference is you're actually having an instructor tell you what exercises to do. And to me, it's a good way if you're novice or just lazy like me. That's kind of a good way to
because it makes it a lot of fun.
13 different classes,
exactly,
and you can go and see or participate, and also pick which one is better for you that you can take away with you and continue on throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely, that's brilliant.
Absolutely
and even if there's something on there that you're not too sure about, pick that one.
Yeah,
because that'll be the one. Yeah,
give it a try.
You'd be like, right. You'd be surprised if you speak to most people who are involved in fitness. When they tell you that their starting story, 9 times out of 10, it'll be something that they just fell into, or they thought, I'll give it a try, and then they'll try it, and I really like it, and they'll maybe do it for a while, and then they get really proficient at it, and then they're like, you know what, I actually want to try something else now, and then it just consistently changes all the time, which is great because it
changes your habits.
You're thinking outside the box, you're challenging your body in different ways. You know, it really is the starting point. So I always say to people, use Noir Fit Fest as the catalyst to get you on the road, which is why we include the talks. The talks are super important as well, because there's so much misinformation out there. And it's like, we actually have a panel of experts who've been doing this for the longest amount of time, ask them, like bend their ear, like ask them questions rather than guesstimating.
Absolutely.
What should I be
or listening
eating?
to your next door neighbour who's
Yeah.
never stepped foot in a gym
100%.
or done some exercise
It
in their
happens
life.
so
It's like,
much.
it really does.
Don't do weights if you're women because you're going to get too
Yeah,
bulky.
Yeah.
oh my God, don't get me started on
please.
that.
Or like,
Yeah,
please.
or the common one that I hear a lot as a running coach is, I need to get fit first.
Oh my God.
To do what? To
do
run?
what?
That's what I'm going to help you do. Like, you don't go
That's
get fit
crazy.
to then come to
That's
like
stupid,
your
yeah.
PT or to your running coach or whatever it is you do. Like,
He's
that's
gonna
the whole point of coming.
Turn into Mo Farah overnight.
Yeah.
And I'll come and see you. Why would you need to see me if you're now
The,
at Mo
if you're
Farah's
fit,
level?
the other one I get is I need to lose weight first before I come. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
That's
like,
the point. Isn't that what you do to lose weight? Ooh, people don't hear themselves.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't. Honestly, like if I had a pound for every kind of excuse and
Crazy.
like it's
Okay, you're just lazy.
you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different reasons. Like I
Lot of
don't like to
hang-ups
say
as
that.
well.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You probably found like the same thing. Laziness is definitely one.
Yes.
I'm not one of those people that are like, oh no, that's not the reason. Sometimes it is
Late-
the
some-
reason.
yeah.
It is.
Sometimes it can be you have so much going on. Like maybe you're single mum, you've got children,
Just
you've
don't have
got
the
a job.
time.
The time factor is a
Money.
real thing. Money,
'Cause it's
accessibility to
See,
fitness
I
spaces.
don't do. I money no, because we have a beautiful invention called YouTube.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
There's a beautiful invention called YouTube, and there are a myriad of
If you've got the right
full
mindset.
45-minute
Oh, yeah.
workouts on there that you can just follow in your house.
100%.
If
I
you
think if
want
you've
to.
got the mindset for it and you want to do it,
Yeah.
money won't be a barrier.
Yeah, money's-
barrier for it.
If you're really serious, you want to go to the gym and pay that fine. But if you don't have the money, you can just go on YouTube.
So there.
Yeah.
And it also tackles that
go
problem of
Go out on the road.
it also tackles that problem of people feel insecure in the gym,
Yeah.
particularly women. They don't know what to do. There's always a man.
There's
who
always
wants to
somebody
tell
telling you what to do.
Yeah, thanks guys. But yeah, like if you're, if you're doing it in your own home, you don't have any of that. You know, you're at home, you're working out alone. Like there's no one that's going to sort of judge what you're doing. But also, I would argue that really a lot of the times when you are in the gym, no one really cares.
Yeah,
Literally.
they're too busy
Everyone's doing
focused
their
on
own
themselves. Yeah, they're probably trying to like. I really don't want to die.
Yeah.
So
Like,
then no
literally
one's got time to
fighting
be
for their
looking at
life.
you. Yeah.
They're fighting for their lives. So
I'm so tired. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah,
They're
it's
trying
true.
to stay focused on.
Yeah. And when you're running down the road as well, I think I always see people jogging down the road. I'm like, that I would feel away. I'd feel away running down the road. But then once I've done it a couple of times, I'm not a
it's
runner,
fine.
but I've tried it a couple of times. I don't really care. I'm,
Yeah,
just,
you
trying to get to the lamppost.
you want to just survive,
Yeah, I'm
basically.
just trying to get to that lamppost.
know.
I really don't care who's watching.
But interestingly enough, I think one of the problems is that people will see, let's say they see somebody who they consider is super fit, and immediately they do this thing of, I ain't that person there, so therefore let me fall back and not do it. I think that's more common than anything else.
Yeah.
And I think
Comparison.
yeah,
Thief
it's
of
like
joy.
it will be.
Yeah.
It's like no, and that's why I've kind of on my Instagram I've kind of calmed down with posting videos of me doing workouts because I have had people say to me, "Oh, I couldn't do what you do," which is why I haven't been to your events. I'm like, no, I'm
That's
doing.
mad.
I wouldn't give you what
You're not
I can do.
You're not an instructor.
And also, I've been doing this for X amount of years.
Yeah.
You shouldn't expect to.
Right.
be
I
at
was like,
that
why would
level.
I get you? I know you can't do that. I'm going to get you to start where you're at
Yeah.
and then you progress
No,
and you
see,
build
Instagram,
and you grow.
I'm not a fitness person, but I know I have to be just for life.
Yeah.
But Instagram, that's where I get a lot of these women my age on Instagram, and they're showing you the little things that they do that I can just buy weights and do at home.
Yeah.
So those Instagram videos, they're very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're very
I've just
inspirational.
limited
Yeah.
them,
Very
but I
important.
kind of, when I write my text, I explain, like, this
Be
is
inclusive.
me. I'm
This
doing
is
this
for
This
me.
is what I'm doing
Yeah.
for me. Like,
But isn't that an inspiration though? Because if you look like that, and that's what you did to get like that, then the more I do what you do,
The more I'm gonna.
isn't
Not
that
everyone-
just common sense?
Not everyone has that mindset. I mean, that tends to be my mindset. I want to look at the person that looks kind of like they've got it sussed. And
Right,
think, well,
look like they know what they're
actually,
doing.
what
Yeah.
are they doing?
Exactly.
And what can I take out of that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But also it is Instagram, so we also have to remember that
Yeah.
it's always the highlight reel, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's
I
always
mean,
the
there's
best
so much on there as well. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it can be information
Overload.
overload.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you have enough kind of sense to look at things? I'm going to use the word sense
Yeah.
because it's like,
Yes.
are you looking at them thinking, yeah, I want to look like that? Does her body type even look even remotely
remotely like,
close to
yeah,
what you could potentially
exactly
get? Sometimes look at people whose
That's right.
frames are similar to
Similar
yours,
frames.
so that it gives you a good starting point, and
Yeah.
then kind of have the sense again in your head to know that wherever I end up is where my body, me, not
Yeah.
the influencer's body is going to end up. So there's that. But one of the other things I was going to mention in regards to why I set up Noir Fit Fest, like there is a stat that I found in 2020 when I actually launched Noir Fit Fest, and it hasn't moved. So essentially, obviously, as Black people, we only make up like 3%
yeah
of the entire population. So apparently only 58% of us are doing 180 minutes a week
what
of working, of moving.
where did
of
I get that
movement.
stat from?
From, you can look it up on Sports England,
Yeah.
they're like a governing body of like just exercise and supporting groups who kind of like similar to mine have platforms. So they have like research on data on women, on men, on children about just physical activity. Obviously they did one on race. I found that stat in 2020. In 2023
Still the
it
same
hasn't
stat.
moved. Yeah. So 180 minutes, what is that, like an hour and a half? An hour and a half a week. We're not even doing that enough. So it's only 58% of us are doing that compared to 63%
That's crazy. A week.
of white people.
A week.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't believe that.
Yeah. I do.
I do.
100%. I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
So of that 3%, only 58% of us are doing
And that's
that
probably
amount.
kids going to school.
Yeah, and then something like 12% are kind of considered like highly active, and then the rest is just whatever.
I'm
So,
going to have a
yeah.
look at that stat because that's got to be broken down to age as well.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Actually.
Apparently, Black and
This
Asian
age.
women, when they break it down into gender, we are right at the very, very bottom.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah. So when I put these things on, and it's so funny because I'll put them on my Instagram page, on both my personal one and on the Noir Fit Fest page. And like the first time I posted it, hardly any likes. And then over Black History Month, I got a little bit annoyed because it was supposed to be about Black women this year.
Yeah.
And I deliberately didn't do anything. I just wanted to kind of watch and see the landscape of how us as a community was going to commemorate that. And when it ended, I was like, I find it
I remember
interesting.
that. I think I retweeted.
Yeah.
I think I reposted your post. Yeah.
I said, listen, this was supposed to be about Black women. I think it's super important that as a community, we celebrate people who are in industries and doing really, really well. We definitely need that. But I feel like there's so much focus on us kind of, we've got to make money, we've got to make generational wealth. What is the point in any of that if we're dropping dead
you're
from
sick.
diabetes and cancers and what make money for what? So that the government can take it when you drop down dead, because they will take it. They do take it, in fact.
They will take it.
Yeah. So I just thought it would have been really nice if some organisation, because there are a lot of women actually, a lot of Black women that have, not just me, have started incredible movements centred around
That's interesting,
fitness,
yeah.
and nobody has clocked it. And the reason why we don't clock it is because we don't value physical activity and being healthy, and we don't because of the stats that I just quoted.
Yeah.
It's evident, like, argue with your mum if you don't. Like, no, honestly, these are things that sometimes as a fitness person, I can't say out loud.
Yeah.
Because I will be called, you're being anti this and anti that.
No, but it's very. That's why you guys are here. 'Cause it is important for our community. We don't do enough with fitness, as far as I'm concerned. But I feel like I'm in an echo chamber because I follow people like. Well, I know you two, but I follow people. I follow a lot of women my age Black women my age on Instagram who are fitness, not necessarily experts, just enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And not the BBL, not that. They just work out,
Yeah.
and they worked out for health, not for aesthetic. they got the aesthetic because they were
As
working
a
out,
result, yeah.
because they decided to adopt a healthy lifestyle and the way they eat and everything. And then sometimes they'll be like, listen, not pump my belly up. They'll be like, look at this. Now I've got to get back, and then I've got to
Hone it in.
increase my water intake, and I've got to do this and I've got to do that to get it back down. And it's a lifestyle. And I follow so many women in their 40s, in their 50s I follow a woman who's 70 and she's a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I think I follow the same.
Yeah. So I follow a lot of those women. And it's not for aesthetics or anything. It's literally just, listen, we're getting older. We have to look after ourselves.
100%.
And that's how it is.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing, I think the more that we talk about it, the more people we can get to.
That's right. And it's for everybody. Like, fitness is for everybody.
Yes, Miss Runtings.
That's me.
Let's get on to, because running, the first thing, a lot of people when they start the new year, new me, a lot of what
running.
they do is they try to go out and go run. Yeah.
I feel like it's really accessible because you can just go and do it. I mean, I say that, but really there is a lot involved in that. You've got to have the right shoes, you've got to have the right kit. So it's not as you know, the saying, all you need to do is grab a pair of shoes and go. Yeah and no. But it is probably accessible because you don't need to do the whole, I'm going to go and sign up for a gym and then I'm going to get inside the gym and all of that. So for a quick win, you might think, let me go for a run.
Go for a run.
Yeah.
How did you start running?
So I feel like I was always running. I ran at school. So I ran at school. And I used to play a lot of sport at school.
I got suspended from sport. I didn't know that.
Well, it was the only thing.
Shock.
It was the only thing that kind of made me focus at school, and that was always like the thing that was dangled. Like, if you carry on doing whatever you're doing, you're not going to be able to
run.
Or you're not going to be able to run. Or you're not going to be able to play netball or whatever it was that I wanted to do. So I was always quite sporty. And then as you do, you sort of like discover going out. And, you know, I think I've said this before, but like getting in at 6 o'clock in the morning and then doing some fitness doesn't really go hand in hand. So then, you know, like I was just maybe getting my steps in by dancing, but like I was very heavily into the nightlife. And then, but I'd always like tap in with running. I would, because I live opposite a park. Yeah. When I was feeling like, oh yeah, I'm going to like, right, it's health kick this week, I would go for a run. And so I always sort of like had my foot in with running. And then I think more recently, it was definitely something that helped me through grief. And so like, you know, looking after both parents, I had very, very little time to myself. And I really noticed that I was becoming quite unhealthy because I just didn't really have that much time to myself, you know. So like dinner would be a packet of biscuits because by the time I'd cooked mum or dad dinner, I just didn't feel like cooking something for myself. So it was biscuits or whatever. So I was just feeling really, really unhealthy. And I also just needed something that sort of distracted me from all the things that I was thinking about. And running was definitely that, because anybody that runs will tell you that like the first kilometre or two, you're fighting for your life. And so you're not thinking of anything but staying alive. Definitely running was just a good way to sort of like clear my mind, clear my head. And then it just escalated from there. And then I was like, next thing you know, I was a running coach, you know, like never one to sort of like not take things to extremes. Like, so I thought I wanted to sort of improve my running. So I started running with a running club. And then I became a coach with that running club, the Outrunners, who are also a charity in East London that support young people in careers and mentoring, etc. And so like I was coaching like an adult running group, and then that just led to like lots of other running things that I'm doing.
Run Things, that's the name of your company.
It's more of a movement than a company. It's more of a way of life. So like I'm a qualified running coach, and so I like, my thing is like really encouraging women into running, especially black and brown women. And I've done a few collaborations with like the Outrunners and coached a few things where it's sort of like focusing specifically on black and brown women and getting them outside and running. And so
What's the most challenging thing that you've done around running?
London
Would that
Marathon.
be the marathon? Yeah.
How many miles is that again?
26. I always know
26.2.
Oh my God.
And it rained. My first marathon. So I've done a few half marathons, and like I love a half marathon. It's probably like my favourite distance because it's probably challenging enough, but then it's over. Yeah, it was long. It was a lot of hours of running. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm doing it again. So that's because
You're
Why
doing
not?
what? You're doing London Marathon again?
yeah,
When?
just
When you do next year?
April. Yeah,
But hold on, hold on. You're doing London Marathon,
yeah.
and you're also doing. She's this young lady, who's the same age as me, so I feel shame. This young lady is also a part of London Soul Sisters.
Yeah, so London Soul Sisters. So we are taking part in the Speed Project, which is basically a 340-mile relay from LA to Las Vegas.
As my producer,
Wow.
as our producer said earlier, that is a 2-hour flight.
It is.
What? Like what? And you're doing a marathon next year?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really. Yeah.
Well, you're not coming carnival then.
Yeah, I'll be recovered
She'll
by
be
then.
ready.
I'll
She-
be recovered by then.
Carnival will be nothing for her.
Be nothing. I'll be ready. If anything, I'll be more than ready.
Yeah.
Um,
This is the training for
yeah.
it.
Wow.
So the ultra marathon, so anything that's like longer than the marathon distance is considered to be an ultra, is something that I've never done an ultra marathon before, but I really respect the people that do it because I know it takes a lot.
Yeah.
So I just really just rate anybody that decides that that's what they want to do because I think it's a bit crazy as well. And this particular race, the Speed Project, it's not like London Marathon where you have things like water stations and aid stations. It's basically unsupported, so you support yourself through the desert. So we'll have a crew that comes with us that's also a crew of women. My team is all black women and they're all over 40, so we're between the ages of 40 and 50, and I just want to see a bit more diversity in that sport.
Yeah.
That's not to say that there
We're going
aren't
to film this as well.
yeah, so we're hoping to have a film made about it.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah.
Yeah,
brilliant.
you've got to.
So it's not to say that there aren't black and brown men and women that
Yeah.
do this, but there's just not enough. And I feel like when you do things like this, people just go, "What is that a white person?"
Is that what they say? See,
So-
that doesn't come to my mind. to be honest,
I'm
'cause
just
I probably
like,
just
well,
know too many people that do
no.
stuff like this. Yeah.
Running's for everybody.
Is that what they say to you?
Yeah, it's for everybody.
Come on, people.
But if you watch the majority of films that were about it, you would see there's in our 6 people that are doing it, we're all different shapes and
Yeah.
sizes. You wouldn't necessarily look at a person and go, "Oh, you're a runner." But we're all very, very passionate about running and very passionate about being outside.
So how is that going to work? You're gonna. So you
good
said it's a
question.
relay. So
Yeah.
you each take a
turn.
Yeah.
a portion of the journey.
Something like that. So it's all about staying uninjured, about how you're going to be out in the desert, how you're going to deal with some of the conditions out there. But the aim is we're supported by an RV, so there'll be an RV and a Jeep. The RV goes up ahead. So if you're not part of the team that actually running, you'll be resting and fueling. And then the other part of the crew will be outside running and supported by the Jeep. So yeah, we've got to talk tactics on how that's going to look. But yeah,
Now, my sister, I've known you most of my life. Why?
yeah, this is a good
Why?
question. This is a very good question. Why? Look, I think it's really important to show that whatever age you are, you can go out and do whatever you want to do, right? I think when you get to this age, whether you've got children or not children, your children have maybe flown the nest. Do you know what I mean? You've got a lot more time to yourself. I think it's really time to start focusing on yourself. I don't have children myself, but I think it's I feel like this is a real golden years time, and I think I just want to just do things just because I can.
Just redefining middle age.
Just because I can,
right.
and I really can't think of any more reason than because I want to. Do you know what I mean? Just to prove
brilliant
that I can do it. So yeah.
That's a brilliant attitude.
Thank you.
I mean, I wish I had it in me, but I don't.
You don't know what you have
I
in you
feel
till
like-
you do it.
I
you
feel
know?
I
like-
know my limitations.
No.
I will
No.
do my weights. yeah.
No. But even with that, I think the thing is about running is I do love running. If you were going to say to me, "Oh, I don't exercise, I want something to do," I wouldn't necessarily suggest take up running because that's it. Not everybody loves it. You know what I mean? Go for a walk. walking is far easier, and it's brilliant for you, and it's even more accessible.
So for everybody that's starting the new year and they want to get into something, just go and walk. Like everybody's got smartphones that's got like the 50. You can do your steps for the day, right? They say the what's the average 10,000 a day. Put it up to 20 and do that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, put it up to 20, put it up to 15.
That's it.
And make sure you do that for the day. And that's a good start, right?
Go to the shops, like instead of taking the bus or your car, maybe do that and get the bus back. Like there's so many ways of.
I used to do that. I used to walk up the stairs instead of the escalator.
It's the most basic thing. The idea is to kind of keep your body like a furnace consistently just burning because you're always moving. That's what the kind of 10,000 step thing was to get people, because like I said, as a society, we're very sedentary. So that's why that 10K thing was actually put out there. And it does work. Like it's less risk in terms of like injuries, like who can't,
fun.
Walking, pretty much most people can do it. And the roadside is free. Whilst it is free, take advantage because the minute this government finds out how to
charge you for
walking, they will.
Why? I'm bleeping that out. Why would you put that into the air?
I'm just saying.
No ideas.
It's going to happen. So
do not give them any ideas, please.
Actually, during the pandemic, I'm pretty sure they were trying to do that.
They were going to find you for sitting in the park.
Literally.
So there you go. Like, I'm just saying.
I will never forget this video. The youths were hanging out because obviously if they're in their houses,
that
they
is
were hanging
so
out
funny. I know exactly the video you mean.
Hanging out at the side of the street, right?
Yeah.
And because they're cooped up in their house.
Yeah.
Right.
There was about 15 or 20 kids, and the police came up. They started doing jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, it's so funny, that video.
I
feel like you might have to link that in.
Exercise, right? They said,
yeah.
Was this mostly kids that tend to live on estates and stuff like that?
That's right, yeah.
Do you know what? That's really funny. Like, quick story. I was part of this Facebook group, right? And I had to cuss out the members in the group because I'm just like, we were all in this group because we're all fitness instructors and what have you. So during the lockdown, this Karen jumped in the group and said there's a particular estate, a very well-known estate, that apparently there was an instructor that had set up a kind of training group for the kids there, like for free, and he would take them and he would exercise with them outside. And these kids are in like high rise, as you can imagine, just trap up.
Lack of space.
Yeah. So he took it upon himself to like, come, we'll do, but he had more than what we were allowed at that time. So she was like, I'm going to report him to the police. And so I said to her, rather than doing that, why don't you reach out to the guy and say, look, I'm an instructor as well. I can understand why you're doing this.
So she was an instructor.
Yes, this is a group of instructors. Like, this is like, that's why I was in the group. We're all fitness instructors and PTs and stuff like that.
This is a fail for Facebook.
This is a Facebook group, and she was ready to literally pick up the phone, call the police, and grass up this man.
Giving kids exercise instead of them being cooped up
free of charge.
Exactly,
during a pandemic. During a pandemic.
Yeah. During a pandemic, and I had to tell her about herself. I said, listen, you didn't need to do any of that. I said, these kids are cooped up in that, in those flats. They probably climbing up the walls, probably driving their parents crazy. This man is trying to do something to get all of that
stress and tension that came out of those kids. Could you imagine?
As a fitness person, this is a community. Why don't you reach out to that guy and say, look, we need to find a better way of doing this rather than you having more people than what we need to. Obviously, the pandemic, COVID is still a thing. Let's see if we can work together to try and, sort something out.
It was the kids she didn't like.
Yeah, she was ready to.
People she would have done.
Yeah, and then somebody tried to come at me. Was like, oh well, there's no need to like have it. I said yes, there is a need. She didn't need to do any of that.
She was doing too much.
Yeah, way too much. So
oh my
Lord. I was like no, and then I reached out to the guy and I told him, I said, be careful because
she's on you.
People are watching you.
I was watching the news the other day and they said that they're chasing people for their COVID fines. I'm like, why?
Chase Boris.
Chase Boris.
Yeah, that's who you're supposed to chase.
Your COVID fines are with his WhatsApp messages.
Listen, Matt, what's his name? If you're flinging Matt Hancock in the jungle and you're paying him to be in there when my man has killed more people
You understand?
than anybody,
Right.
and you have the nerve to be chasing people for
Their
COVID,
COVID
fines.
fines.
Just forget it.
Absolutely not.
No,
Listen.
we're not going to do that.
So 2024, ladies, all this fitness, you're running around everywhere, you're jumping up and down everywhere. When do you guys find time for a dating life? Okay, we're gonna take a water break. We're gonna take a water break, and we will be back. They started to
just
choke.
Lubricate.